Hello, how you doing? I don't know, I've only done a few laps on it, so seen what it's like. Seen what, really different, that's for sure. Yeah, I've only done like 3 or 4 laps. I'm just trying it out. Just started to try it out. Definitely gotta be careful in the low gears, that's for sure. Wants to definitely rotate real fast with the low gears. The gears are a lot different than other cars too, so. Hey, mate. You gonna turn in the Nissan and grab this Mustang? Not much with low speed stuff. Doesn't like low speed. Kind of reminds me of the McLaren as far as that goes. Doesn't like real slow speeds. Ah. Yeah, it just doesn't like changing directions. Well, I mean, it does. It just doesn't like. It's just pretty jerky. I mean, it's pretty unstable. It likes fast speed stuff, but it just doesn't like the slow speed stuff. But, you know, like I said, I've only done a few laps. I've only done 5, not even, 5 laps. Just doesn't want to turn. It's fast though. And it's a lot different. I think it's a lot different than a lot of the other cars. I gotta turn my force feedback down. This thing is killing my arms. That's another thing. I'm trying to figure out what, 520 is the ratio for the steering wheel. I got that nailed down. I'm still trying to, turn down the force feedback because this thing is about ready to rip my arms off. We're at. I mean, we're at. I mean, what track? I mean, it's definitely different. It's definitely gonna be again. It adds another layer of complexity to ACC because I mean, it's just gonna. I mean, just in a few laps, it's different. I mean, it's a lot different. That's all I can say. I mean, gears are different. I mean, you don't even get into sixth unless at least not here at Monza, which every car goes into sixth. It's a lot different. So definitely a weird animal. Feels like it understeers, some. So it's again, it's just a lot of trying to figure out. Got a lot of laps to do to try to figure this thing out. It's definitely going to be a lot different from other cars. So I mean, I'm sure it'll fit somebody's driving style or somebody's the way the way they like to drive. What mirror? Mirror and what? Oh, the mirror and I don't see the mirror in the car as far as that goes, but I don't usually use that anyway. So, but I mean, I wouldn't see it unless I was in a race. Your virtual mirror. Is that what you mean, the virtual mirror? Oh, you did a 47.2 in the Mustang in today's race? Holy crap. That's flying. In the Mustang? Yeah, that's good. That's hauling. Yeah, see, it's got some serious speed. I got a low wing on it, but I mean, oh, is it backwards? I never even noticed. Wow. No, I don't think I've seen anything as far as that goes. Let's I'll look here in a second. But in the Mustang, you're talking about you were in the Mustang? John, I mean, you're talking about the times you're saying were in the Mustang or the Nissan? No, I don't play. I haven't done VR. I don't have any VR. Oh, that's hauling butt. That's what I say. You need to switch to the Mustang. Holy crap, that's flying. But I can see where this thing is really good for we're here, but good night. Yeah, that's hauling the mustard. Okay, well it's huh? That looks side mirrors look right, so I mean I don't know what they're uh Aren't they right? They look right to me. Well, I mean, I guess I could stick out instead of in. I don't know. I would think that would be. I would think that would be better aerodynamics sticking in than it would be sticking out. So that looks normal to me, but that's just me. I mean, if you look backwards, but they do kind of look backwards. But to be honest, it would be better if they stuck out. It would be. I would think it would be less efficient with air, but that's just me. I could be wrong. Oh, well, I don't let me look at those. I mean, the reflection in the mirror, I don't even look at that anyway. You could be right. I don't ever look in those mirrors. Probably some little thing that they'd have to fix. Oh, is it? I mean, on those side mirrors, well, like I said, I don't use them anyway, so wouldn't bother me. Now, the virtual mirror, I would have, I see that. I mean, that would be different if that was that way in the virtual mirror. In the middle there, but they don't show that unless you're in a race. But yeah. Yeah, probably triple strings. That would be an issue. Triple screens. Yeah, I can see, like I say, triple screens, that definitely mess you up. Yeah, I don't have that, so. Gears are so long in between. I mean, it really kind of really hard to be in. Feels like to be in the right gear. It feels like you're turning a boat, changing directions. Man, it feels like I feel like I'm in the M6. It's definitely a point and shoot, but I mean it's not nimble for by far. Yeah, it's good for fast corners, but slower corners it doesn't like it. I mean, it's not, it should be really good here. Yeah, that's what I just did, John. I used first gear. Well, I used first gear even on the second chicane, and then second on the other ones. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And that's a gear lower than most of the time. I usually use third in the Lesmos. But yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, here it's in its element. I like to, see what it would do at a different track. Yeah, tire wear isn't terrible as far as the front to rear, and the spread is pretty deep, not bad. So it's not bad there, but. A lot of people said they don't like the sound. I've seen a lot of creators saying it, but it doesn't sound. I don't know. It sounds different to me. It sounds a little like other cars, but it sounds Almost sounds like a stock car in some places. I don't see how slow it is through when it's changing directions. It's like really slow through there. A lot of people are saying it sounds like the Bentley and the and the Lexus or something. I don't know. I don't hear that. Sounds like the V12 Aston. No, it don't. One car definitely doesn't sound like. It sounds like a stock car is what it sounds like. In some places, that's what it really sounds like. Here at Monza. I mean, it's okay. I mean, the sound is. I mean, it's what it is. So, I mean. It had negative tow before, but I didn't. You mean in the rear? It had negative tow. That's what it came with on the aggressive setup. It had negative tow. I don't. I didn't like it through this. It's actually better now through the chicanes than it was before that. So, yeah, I don't like the negative tow through the chicanes. It didn't make it feel good. I mean, I haven't done much of nothing on here, so I'm just. You know, it's long. Like I said, I've only made a half a dozen laps or so. So, yeah, parabolic isn't too bad for me. I went right through there, so it's not really a big issue. Really, the only places I don't like it in the chicanes. Lesmos were okay too. I mean, you just got to go through there in second, not third. Same with everything else. You got to go through second and then third. But I mean, you can go through in third. It's just slow. That's all. You see. Give me a second. See if I can. Load this setup here. Let me see what. Let's see what John did. Alrighty. Let's go back and see what John had his at. There it is. Yep. Did say, oh wow, he's got very low brake bias. Oh, that's mega soft. Everything mega soft. Yeah. Wow, look at all that ride. Look at that ride height. Looks like it would work though. So obviously John ran good with it. So yeah, I had to turn mine down. It was way too much. It was kicking my butt as far as my my arms. Let's see how this does. Yeah, but 520 is the rotation for the wheel. That's what I got matched up, so that matched up perfect. Yeah, see, you get that ride height in the back. It helps it turn. It helps it change directions better with that rear ride height jacked up. He's got TC6. Wow. Obviously, he doesn't slow it down, so let's see if he'll. I never hear the TC kick in at all, ever, hardly, really. So it's not intrusive. So that's a good thing. Oh, I turned it down to 5. Too late braking, but it definitely helps it feel a little bit more nimble with the ride height and jacked up in the rear. Gives the car a little bit more nimbleness. Yeah, maybe not. I've listened to it a little bit, but I mean, I listened to an in-car, and I mean, it sounds a little different, but they all do. So, I mean, you could tell it's I don't know. It's not that bad to me. I mean, sound isn't it's just what it is. I mean, Still feels like a heavy car. It feels not real nimble. I wish I was going as good as John was. It even sounds heavy. Yeah, right? Oh, I got into 47s. That's an accomplishment. It sounds a little different there. I mean, man, that don't sound like any other car I'm sure that I can recognize. So I'd have to do some more listening to it to a real car. I did some earlier today, but. I thought the interior looked good. What are you talking about? I looked at the interior. It looked really cool inside. What do you mean? Like, again, I mean, I think they did a great job on the inside. It looks great. You know, it is what it, you know, looks, it is what it is. You know, I mean, so, yeah, I mean, not a bad setup. I mean, you know, running high 47s for, like I said, I haven't run, but how many laps? 12 laps. That's it. I mean, this is the first I've touched this car, so I've run 12 laps in this car in its life and ran a 47.96. So that's not awful. So for me anyway, but. The ride height definitely, like I said, it does help it. It helps it. That's a good adjustment because it helped it change directions, which was really bad there. So that helped it there. TC on it is great for just just has the one TC, but it's not intrusive at all. I mean, no matter what you set it at, I never heard it. Very good, very good. TC has come such a long way, and you drive one of the older cars. I did that set up for a 2018 Porsche and put it on my Discord, and I mean, you should hear that thing. That thing is so intrusive. Or the Aston Martin, the V12 Aston. I mean, it just every time you can't help it, but the thing is constantly getting it, engaging. Sounds like a Vespa. Hey, my dad owned a Vespa. Oh, it didn't. Come on now. You're being harsh. You just mad because it competes with the Lexus. That's all. That's all you're mad at. You're just mad because it competes with the Lexus. That's it. This is up in the game on the Lexus. Speed-wise, it's definitely. It's crazy though, because it's only a 5-speed, because you're never going to use 6th anywhere. I mean, you're never going to use 6th gear. So it's really basically a 5-speed. I mean, that's no other GT3 car is that way. Yeah, gearing, I mean, I took it, I mean, we can go. I mean, let's just look at the speed and the gearing. So I'll look, the speed, I didn't even take a notice on it. Let's see, the speed was 174. So that's good. I think I did 175 with a 1-wing. But I'd rather do 174 with a 3-wing, to be honest. Of course, this is first gear. Now, John said he took the other one second, but I took it in first. I don't know. You can go either. So I guess you can go either way. I go through first here. And then these are all second. Now, see, in any other car, it'd be third. But see, all the Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, I did it in second gear, which is perfect. It actually works really good. So, and then it's a little low second up here, but it works okay. And you can upshift to third halfway through there. So it's like, if you need to upshift into third early, it's okay. It's not going to kill it. Because, see, I go up into third, I think. See, right through there. So I'm already up into third. But that's okay. That's fine. And I did take second down here also, so I do second. And then again, if you need to upshift into third. So, I mean, share your thoughts on e-seniors after tonight. Or you mean, yeah, type in. I can post a thing on e-seniors. Well, I mean, as far as this setup, you can see the setup here. I mean, this is John's setup. But you can see you got like -1, 2, -4, caster maxed, toe 0 in the back, max camber in the back. So that's all pretty. I mean, this is pretty much standard stuff. He said it's supposed to be 5, so TC at 5. Oh, it does have a TC2. Wow, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even adjust. Oh, that's right. I did have a TC2. He's got it at 0. I think I had mine at 1. But so that's simple. I said tire wear is really good too, to be honest. I mean, nothing real bad. A little wear on the rear, but that's not bad. Anti-roll bar, he's got 5. Brake bias 53.9. Springs are all the way down. Bump stop rates are all the way down, and bump stop ranges are all the way up. So basically, he's not even using the bump stop rates or ranges, so they're irrelevant. He just pretty much canceled them out. Anti-roll bar 1, preload 20. That's all the way down. And the shocks are all the way down on the top and all the way up at the bottom. So that's, you know. And then, so you got the bumps always all 0s and the rebounds are maxed. Aero 51, ride height 62, rear wing 3, and the ducts are 3. I mean, you know, I might want to, you might want to go up 1 in the ride height in the front, just 1. Does make a pretty good difference, but just for you know, if you rush you know, hard over the curbs and stuff, it give you a little bit more clearance as far as going over the curbs if you really run over them hard. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I would like to question that too. I'd like to see. Really would like to. What you need to do is I need to go back and if you really want to investigate that, you need to go back to GT World and see if they show some car camera or something with the Ford at Paul Ricard, because it was a monster down the straightaway. That car, the Ford in real life, when they raced at Paul Ricard, it was a monster. It had the top speed down the straightaway with no problem. So that's in real life. I don't know if it was using 5th and going into 6th. That I don't know. Which maybe you could go into 6th if you were drafting. Which, you know, he was drafting really good. You probably could go into 6th. But I mean, I don't know what he was using. But you might be able to find some footage to see if it was really doing that. Yeah, again, I mean, it's you know, I'm sure that, you know, John, I mean, if he was, you know, that's really good for, you know, just, you know, pretty much a, you know, a setup just to get it to where it goes. You're comfortable around the track, and it's, he said he was running, what, 47.6s, I think, here. I mean, I ran a 47.9. So, you know, I'm sure you could make it go faster by just, you know, more tuning and more tweaking on it just to see what it's like. But I mean, you know, I saw, you know, Jordier running it at Nürburgring. It looked like for the first day, it looked like it was doing really good there too. It was, I mean, it was kicking some butt at Nürburgring. It looked pretty daggum good there. So, I mean, again, let's take it. Now, see if you look inside. So let's look inside. See if you look inside. Look at that. Look at all the detail in here. Got Braille, the battery. I guess that's like that should be a battery or some kind of regular. I don't know what that is to it, but that's the lightweight batteries that they use. I mean, you can see all the systems and the like fire extinguisher system and all the other stuff they got back here. Fuel tank. I mean, you can see the detail in here is epic. I mean, typical ACC Kunos. I mean, they even got the horsey on the brake bias over here, on the brake bias switch over here. Like I said, their detail is epic. And they are definitely the pinnacle. They are the ones to be judged by, because everybody else is, in my opinion, is below them. They are to the detail to the nth. So I think it looks really good in here, to be honest. But that's just me. That's just me. It says GT3 on the wheel there. So, but yeah, again, I think they did a great job. But you know, that's Kunos. Of course, I got a blue one with the white, and of course they have the. Oh, look at that! They got the Proton. They got that one. That's different. And then, of course, the Ford Performance. You got that one. So, like, I'm sure they'll be, you know, adding some other ones as it goes. Yeah, they probably could. I mean, again, I mean, that's why. Let's say, just for kicks and giggles, let's take it to Misano. So again, you know, it's the same. I mean, again, this aggressive setup, it's not, you know, don't look bad for an aggressive. Again, I think they've done it better with their setups out of the box than what they used to be by a long way. All right, let's do that and see how that goes. It's just... Still got negative on here. Why did they do that for? All right, let's just try it and see what it. I don't know what the tire pressures or anything else are going to be, but. I used to think that the AMG kind of felt heavy and all this and that. It doesn't compare to this. Yeah, I figured it's not going to like it through here. Gotta really watch the throttle. Wow. I don't know. It doesn't feel that super fast, but it's not doing bad. I missed that. Tires need to come down. But really, a 34.6? That's not a bad time. I mean, it's not near my best or anything, but it's not bad for just out of the box. I can see it's hard on this left front. That's probably one of the negatives of it. It looks like the left front is going to be trying to keep it from burning it off. It seems like every track, so far the two tracks, and the ones I've seen on YouTube, it seems like that's what it wants to kill, the left front. It kind of reminds me of the Mercedes, what it used to do in its early days. It wanted to kill the left front all the time. Yeah, I mean, pretty much an aggressive setup. I haven't done anything with it, and just a few nothings, and I'm already running mid 34s or 34.6s. I mean, that's not terrible for me, so that's okay. I mean, I need to get into 33s, but for a car that you haven't even done anything to, I mean, and not used to, I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, I was kind of wondering what it would do someone like here because I mean, it's not a fast track. See, that's what my point. It's not a fast track, so you only use five. Well, you only can use 5 gears anyway. That's what you use here anyway. Really, most cars. Some you use 6 actually, but most you only use 5. Oh yeah, if you're at a Daytona, yeah. Yeah, well then that's right then. If you're saying that, then that tells me that it's using that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way it's simulated. And the speed is still good. I mean, 158 is not bad here at Misano. But is it hard on its tires? I mean, again, do you have problem with tire wear? Do you have, I mean, on a longer stint and things like that? These are things that you got to find out by just running the car a lot to see what it does. I mean, I don't know if John noticed anything. All right. You never know. You never know. There might be a full grid of Fords at Monza. Yeah, it still bounces a little bit, kind of like the Porsche does. So I mean, that's if it's like I said, if that's what's if you see that on in-car recordings where they're using fifth most of the way, get my message, Nikos? Yeah, I mean it was already fast at like I said, I saw with Jardier, they were running yesterday, he was running like 809s in it. You know, and I'm sure as a matter of fact, him and another guy were both running like 808s or 809s. I don't think that's pretty I know they're fast anyway. I mean, you're talking aliens, but that's still up there. So it's still hauling the mustard pretty good. You got to figure Nürburgring, you got a lot of corners too. So it's not like it's all straightaways. I know straightaways is a big deal, but you got to be able to get through the corners. I mean, and I mean, it's not like I don't think he had a dialed in setup. Yeah, I need the Mustang. I need the skin for the Mustang, Nikos. I need a livery. I won't have to worry about nobody passing me on a straightaway ever again. Dude, I've been passed on the straightaway. I've been passed on the straightaway so much, I'm surprised I don't have tread marks all over me. You can guarantee that with this car, with the Mustang, it never happened. Never in a million years would you get passed on a straightaway. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it would be all right there too. I mean, it's. I'm sure it's. Um. I mean, about the same speed here. Oh, speed-wise, it's not about the same. If anything, I would think it would be worse here because that tight section right over here. I would think that this thing would suck through there, but it's actually not awful. I mean, it's not the greatest, but let's see if it's tire pressures, if it does any better. The real test for it probably like Alton Park or something like that. Bumpy, skinny, real slow turns. I think if you have good throttle control, it'd help you with controlling it on some of the slower turns, but you just can't. It's not like some other cars, you could just floor it really fast. You really can't do that with this one. You can tell it wants to push the front. Oh, I mean, I don't know if you can tune that out, but yeah, you can really feel that. Probably that's where you burn up the left front. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It probably has too much bar in the front. It might help it taking some of that bar out. Especially here, where you got all these slow corners. what I say. There's a ton. You haven't even started to tune on this thing yet. I knew I was gonna hit that. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like it. It's all right. I mean, the sound is okay. I know that's subjective. It's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I think if they ever came out with the Corvette, I think it would be a lot better sounding, because that car sounds a lot better than this. I mean, you feel like you're on the razor's edge in the slow corners. I mean, if you need it to rotate, you just got to step on the gas. But that's the problem. It can over-rotate then. Not too far off. Wide. You can hear the TC once in a while kicking in. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got too much. I mean, you probably could go with a 3 or a 2 on the front. Easy. And you got speed to burn, so you probably could even go more wing. So again, there's a lot of variables you can do here. I mean, it's endless. I mean, like I said, you only got a 6 wing. You could go just all max it out here because it's got speed in the bank. You got plenty of speed. Speed is not the issue here. You need to get it to handle better. So, if you could do that, you can work on other things. With more downforce here, you can do other things. You can do different things with the sway bars and the springs and all kinds of different stuff. I already got the bump stop rates turned way up, or the ranges. And they don't have a lot of bump stop rates. They're pretty low. So that tells me the car is probably pretty it's fairly light. You see a lot of other cars, they got a lot more bump stop rates in them. and I think they're, you know, they're heavier cars, but oh, does it? Yeah. It dashboard's really cool in it. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome too, how they got the dashboard, and I mean, it all is really I mean, you know, you could go, you know, like that, like that. That. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to try to. I mean, turn in, I don't really think it's got a bad turn in, to be honest. I mean, you can give it more turn in if you wanted to, but not too bad in the back. I would probably give it a little bit more diff, just to maybe control some of the coming off the corners. See. Yeah, I just got mine just when I started the stream. I just started to do first time in it, so let's see, just fiddling around with it. Let's see if it feels any better. Got a Motec dash like the Nissan does. Looks like the same exact same dash. I mean, not the. I know it's night. Little. I mean, the graphics are different on it, but I mean, it looks like the same kind of Motec model. I didn't feel too bad there. Yeah, I just got back from work today. Dang, went out of bounds. missed that. Still gotta be careful around that carousel, man. Probably, I think it'd go down another on the bar in the front. Yeah, them puppy dogging it through there too easy. Yeah, I've been taking the bump stop out of it ever since from the aggressive. It had. I mean, the range part. I've been taking the range out. Oh. Trying to cut it too much. That's going to be the kicker, is these slow corners with this thing. Man, killing. I mean, I almost need to lower my force feedback still. Man, force feedback on this thing is a killer. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm actually, it's got too much rotation. It's wanting to oversteer, so it's actually got too much rotation. Even with the full wing, it's got too much rotation. And the wrong way. The back end's wanting to come around. But I don't want to put too much. I like it decent where it's at because it's going over the bumps good. The sausages and stuff, it's going over really good. I took some rotation out. Well, a lot of the rear, lowered the back end. See if it... See, you can always get it to rotate when you by throttle. I mean, you can always get the car to rotate by just stepping on the gas. I mean, that's all you got to do. But every time you got to get out of the gas, and it kills your momentum. Hey, one thing, it revs and revs and revs. Much better. Gotta get some heat in the tires. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's a lot better through there. Yeah, I got positive rear toe. Just a teeny bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. I knew that was the right way because it was. You want rotation to be smooth as you can, as smooth as you can, not snappy, not because then you can't control it. Then you're either lifting or you're over, steering, sawing the wheel, or. But if you can get the rotation to be smooth, so you can feed gas in and it's still rotating smoothly, that's what you want. Whether you control it by TC, whether you control it by settings. I mean, there's all ways you can control it. Obviously, TC's that's could limit it because then the TC is going to kick in. So you want to keep that to a minimum. But I think that's really good actually. I mean, it's it's roughed in. I haven't even touched any of that. The shocks. I would like to try a few things, maybe even one other click less, maybe some more toe to help turn in. There's some things I'd like to try, but I mean, this is just a roughed in thing. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get on the limiter. It's, I think a lot of people are going to be on the limiter on this thing because with the way the gears are, you got to wind the thing way out. But again, I think it's not bad. It's better than I thought it would be here. I thought it would struggle more here at Misano. Just because of the layout of the track. Not a high speed, but let's look at the speed. It was doing 158. Let's see what it was doing after we maxed out the wing. Let's see how it affected it. Hear the Vespa come out in it in the limiter, hitting the limiter. Still, we dropped almost 0.5 of half a second right there. Just in those adjustments right there. So you get more aggressive through there now. Yeah, I probably lost a little bit right there. If I would have upshifted when I needed to, I would have probably picked up a little bit more. Look at that, same speed. I didn't lose 1 mile an hour. It didn't lose any mile an hour at all. And I maxed the wing out. So going to a 6 wing don't do diddly. So again, it'll be a strong car. It's probably going to be an OP car. I think it's going to be an OP car at most tracks. I mean, because with me, with just me doing it, these guys that are really fast, yeah. I mean, first time I've ever driven the car, and I'm half a second away from my personal best, or less than half a second. So I think I'm only like about 0.4 away from my personal best, and not even optimal condition. So, I mean, as far as temperatures and stuff. So, I mean, yeah. Plus, I probably drop another couple tenths just doing a low fuel run. doing a qualifying, they'd probably drop another couple tenths just with that. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be a pretty fast car at most tracks. I'm sure, maybe in Olton Park, maybe there might be that odd track that it's probably not going to do the greatest at. But again, will it fit your driving style? Will it fit the way you like to drive? I mean, if you can't adapt to it and conform to how the car likes it, then it might not be that good. Hey, Andrew. So again, it all just depends on your driving style a lot. I mean, I think the looks are different. I mean, it's a Mustang, I know that, but I like the wing and all those kinds of things in the car. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, I think it looks good. So it's not like a ugly car or anything. So, I mean, I think it looks okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it makes my heart beat faster or anything like that. Or, I get all wound up over it, but I think it looks good. I mean, it could look worse. So, sound wise, that I would give it, probably maybe a C plus or a B minus, sound wise. Again, really with all the cars in ACC, I think their sound is really good, but I wish they had a little bit more gear noise or transmission noise or whining and things like that. If they added that, that's all it would need to really sound more authentic. Because if you really listen to in-car cameras, you hear that as loud as the motor. You hear a lot of gear whine, a lot of transmission noise or rear end noise, things like that. I wish that would go up. Motor noise, I think it's okay. I mean, that's very subjective. So that that's nothing for me, because one person, it could be the best sounding thing in the world and the other person thinks it's absolutely disgusting. So, I mean, that is very subjective, very subjective. So again, sound wise, I think it's okay. It's not terrible. Has nice RPM. I can tell some of the things, I question, will it do good on long runs? Are you going to burn the left front? Are you going to burn the rears off on a long run? Are you going to, actually in real life, that's what they had a problem with. In the real life at Paul Ricard, they had an issue with the car was starting to eat its tires off, and it was starting to struggle a little bit more at the end of the stint, but the car did awesome at Paul Ricard. I mean, it moved right up through the field, finished really good. For its first time outing there. So, again, I think it's a good car. I think it's going to be fast, and guys that practice with it and really practice with it and run it, I think they're going to do well with it. It'll definitely be, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at the taillights. But again, it's not going to be for everybody. Some people probably won't like it. It does feel heavy. It does feel, if you can't adapt to that, the way the car is, you might not be any faster. So again, it's how you adapt, and how you let the car work in its operating range and not try to make it do something it's not going to do. Well, I mean, if you're really, yeah, it's a chunky monkey. It feels like a chunky monkey. I mean, that's definitely a good phrase for it, because I'm not saying the car is that way, but it feels that way. And so now doing some stuff on the setup does help it take some of that out, but it's never as nimble as a Porsche, something like that, or maybe as balanced as the BMW. The BMW feels very balanced to me, and that's the same physically type car, but the BMW to me feels like it has a 6-cylinder in the front, really, and that's really kudos and great to Kunos, because this has a V8 and almost feels like it's got a V8. It feels like it's got more weight on the nose. Where like the BMW with a actual lightweight, so I mean it's a straight 6, it feels a lot lighter in the front of that car, more balanced. This car feels more nose heavy. Kind of like comparing the 2015 Nissan GTR to the 2018 Nissan GTR. It almost feels that way, but performance isn't that way. But the feeling of the cars are that way to me. It feels a lot heavier in the front and things like that. Doesn't change directions really good. Now you can induce it again. If you can induce it, if you can have really good throttle control and induce it, you're gonna be fast. And the guys that can do things like that are going to be very fast and make this car do things that you don't think it can't be done. Okay, but guys that struggle with stuff like that, then yeah, or you can't practice much and it just doesn't come natural, then yeah, you might struggle with it a little more. I think the McLaren 720 Evo is a totally different type car than this. If you're happy with that, I would stick with that. If you're not, if that car doesn't fit way you drive, then yeah, I would be looking for something else. But this car is more of a straight and in the corner stop. It's got great brakes. In the corner stop and fire off. It's fast corners. It's great. It's got great corner speed. Really, really good corner speed. Almost like like the Aston Martin and things like that. Really good. But again, slower corners. It just doesn't. And changing directions, chicanes. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like changing directions. And you got to be really, really controlled with the throttle, or run a real high TC. Yeah, you need a Lexus Evo. Yeah, I mean that exactly. I mean, if you had like a Lexus Evo, that would be But really, the Lexus is still a really competitive car, and it's winning an IMSA. But I mean, you look at the RCF, the Lexus, and it's again another car that's very similar to this car to me. Both got monster motors. Both don't like slower corners. Both really fast in the straightaways. They have a lot more similarities than they have differences. I think the Lexus is a little nose heavy also, but not as. I don't think it's as bad as the Mustang. The Mustang feels a little bit more bulky and nose heavy than the Lexus. But the thing with the Lexus, and this is just me now. This is me talking. It might not affect anybody else, especially 9. But me, I cannot stand the A-pillar in the Lexus. The A-pillar drives me crazy because I just can't judge and see where I want to be. This car doesn't affect me that way. Lexus is one of the only cars that does that with the bars, the way they got where the A-pillar is. It just, for some reason, that's one of my knocks on that car. For me, is I just can't really get handle with it because that always bothers me and messes up my judgment. Or other cars don't do that. Speed-wise, where do you think it'll fail? It's really going to be up to the gears because obviously, you're going to use 5 gears everywhere. And even here at a slow track, it's not bad. So I would like to see Hungaroring. I think it might struggle there because you're constantly changing directions and it's slick. And if you have if you don't have a really balanced car there, Hungaroring, it can really bite you. So it might struggle there. It might struggle at Laguna Seca. Because again, the way that track is, and especially with the corkscrew, you might struggle with you might have issues with the corkscrew. You can't take it aggressively. So there's a couple tracks that I have question marks with. But I'd say 80-90% of the tracks is probably going to be pretty fast. So, I mean, it's no car is perfect at every track. But this will still, at least until they come out with a BOP to regulate it. And of course, I'm sure when they come out with more data, they'll regulate it more and things like that. They might, because if they take some of the power out of it, that will hurt it. And so that might be, you never know, that probably will be coming. So if they take some of the power out, or if they do something with weight, which I hope weight, it already feels heavy enough, but, I don't, that's just the feeling of the car, and that's just the way that's just the DNA of the car. So, yeah, right. Well, if you like the bigger cars, if you like a front engine car, if you like a bigger car, it's steady. It's got stability up the yin yang. So it's a very stable car. It's not a nervous car, other than slow corners and other than changing direction corners. So I mean, then you got your little, so again, that's the biggest Achilles heel of this car. But other than that, I think everybody's going to have good times with it. But if it doesn't tickle your fancy, then then go with what you like. Go with what works for you, and drive what you like, just like 9 does. No problem. Again, I'll see if I can put something on eSeniors. Again, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Please, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll probably try, look for some streams coming up. I'll probably try to stream maybe tomorrow and for sure Friday and Saturday. So if you see me, come on, join in and say hey. And I hope you have a great night and enjoy the Mustang. See ya.